The Pretoria High Court has set aside Public Protector Busisiwe Mkhwebane's report on the controversial Vrede Dairy farm project.
In a brief judgment, Judge Ronald Tolme ruled that Mkhwebane's report was unconstitutional and invalid. The Democratic Alliance and Council for the Advancement of the South African Constitution brought the matter to court last year. They'd sought an order to have Mkhwebane's report on the project declared unconstitutional and have it reviewed and set aside. This after the project promised to empower black emerging farmers but failed to do so. It's alleged that about 30 million rand of Estina funds remain unaccounted for. The judgment also emphasized that Mkhwebane had failed to adequately probe those implicated in the Vrede farm scandal. The DA and CASAC have indicated that they will respond once they have studied the judgment. Now, the Public Protector's Office is also yet to respond to the judgment. For more on this, I'm joined in studio by Mkhwebane. Thanks so much for your time on SABC News. You went to the Free State to get reaction from the people there, from the people affected. What were the reactions to that judgment?
Well, absolutely. First of all, we actually attempted to get access to the farm itself. Of course, we were denied entry there, and we were told that no media is allowed to get in, and that's been happening since the scandal broke out. So we decided to then travel about 5 kilometers to the Tembele township, which is next to Vrede, where we found people, the so-called beneficiaries of this project, quite disappointed in the sense that they were actually expecting more from this particular project. And let me just mention that many of them are impoverished. They are saying that we were expecting more from this particular project to actually rescue us from the situation we face in. Many of them, of course, are elderly people. One of them, 72-year-old pensioner that we spoke to, mentioning that she was actually expecting that this project would actually help her rebuild her house, which is on the verge of collapse. When it rains, water gets into the house. She lives with her grandchildren there. But on the other side, quite interesting that they cannot have any information. They do not rather have any information in terms of what's going on with this, with regards to these particular court cases. But there is a main reason there. This is simply because they are unemployed. They do not have television, they do not have radio. Many of them don't have smartphones to be able to get any updates, more especially with regards to these court cases.
We're also hearing that some of the people who were supposed to have benefited from the project and didn't reportedly want this project to continue. Tell us a little bit about that and more about the circumstances of how people live there.
Well, absolutely. I mean, many of them saying that we really hope that something will get out of, more especially with this particular legal cases. They are saying that they are disappointed because just before the election day on the 8th, Public Protector Busisiwe Mkhwebane did visit the area, of course, collecting some information from them. Of course, they hoped that something positive will come out. But of course, when we brought the news to them, we told them that, of course, I mean, the case was set aside in Pretoria, quite disappointed. And of course, I mean, they are slowly losing hope in this particular project.
Mkhwebane, thanks so much for your time. Our reporter there giving us an insight into what he found when he went to the area.